Imagine this. It's April. Your neighbors' yards are bursting with tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths, and your garden is still bare. The secret? They planted their bulbs in fall, not spring. Planting bulbs at the right time, before winter, makes all the difference. In this video, we'll cover exactly when and how to plant spring bulbs across the US so you can enjoy a colorful garden when snow melts. Tools and materials you'll need. Garden spade or bulb planter for digging holes. Measuring tape or planting stick for depth. Quality bulbs firm, no mold. Compost or bulb fertilizer. Mulch, straw, shredded leaves, bark. Garden gloves. Watering can. Why plant bulbs in fall? Spring bulbs need a cold dormant period to trigger blooming. Planting in September. November gives bulbs time to establish roots before the soil freezes. When spring arrives, they're ready to push up leaves and flowers. Bulbs planted too late may not root well, and those planted in spring often fail to bloom their first year. Fall planting is nature's schedule, and following it guarantees success. Best time to plant by U.S. region. Northern states, zones 3 to 5. Plant bulbs September through early October before hard frost. Cold winters provide plenty of chilling hours. Midwest, zones 5 to 6. Ideal planting is late September to mid-October. Soil is still workable, but cool enough for roots to settle. Southern states, zones 7 to 9. Plant bulbs later, October to early December, since soil stays warm longer. Some bulbs like tulips even need refrigeration for 6 to 8 weeks before planting. Western states, California, Pacific Northwest. Timing varies. In rainy Northwest, plant in October. In warmer California zones, bulbs may also need pre-chilling before fall planting. Step-by-step guide to planting bulbs. Step 1. Choose the right bulbs. Look for firm, plump bulbs free from mold. Popular choices: tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, crocuses, and alliums. Step 2. Prep the soil. Bulbs need well-draining soil. Mix in compost or sand if your soil is heavy. Avoid soggy areas where bulbs could rot. Step 3. Dig the right depth. General rule: plant bulbs at a depth 2 to 3 times their height. Example: a 2-inch tulip bulb should be planted 6 inches deep. Step 4. Position correctly. Pointy side up, flat side down. If unsure, plant sideways. Bulbs naturally orient themselves. Step 5. Fertilize. Add bone meal or a balanced bulb fertilizer at planting. This supports strong root growth before winter. Step 6. Water well. Give bulbs a thorough watering after planting to help settle soil and trigger rooting. Step 7. Mulch for protection. Cover the bed with 2 to 3 inches of mulch. This stabilizes soil temperature and prevents frost heaving. Common mistakes to avoid when planting bulbs. Even experienced gardeners sometimes make bulb planting mistakes that cost them spring flowers. One of the most common is planting bulbs too shallow. Shallow bulbs are more likely to be pushed out of the ground by frost heaving or eaten by squirrels. On the other hand, planting bulbs too deep can delay blooming or prevent them from emerging at all. Another mistake is choosing poorly drained soil. Bulbs hate sitting in soggy ground. This often leads to rot before spring arrives. Finally, improper storage can ruin bulbs before they ever get planted. Keep bulbs in a cool, dry, and breathable container until planting time, never sealed in plastic bags. Avoid these pitfalls, and your spring display will be healthy and reliable year after year. Types of spring bulbs to try. Tulips, endless colors, best in clusters for dramatic effect. Daffodils, deer and rodent-resistant, naturalize well. Hyacinths, fragrant and vibrant. Crocuses, early bloomers, often pushing through snow. Alliums, tall, globe-like flowers that add height. Design ideas for bulb plantings. Planting bulbs isn't only about getting them in the ground. It's also about creating a garden design that wows in spring. Instead of lining up tulips in straight rows, try planting in clusters or drifts of 10 to 15 bulbs for a natural, eye-catching effect. Combine bulbs of different bloom times, such as early crocuses, mid-season tulips, and late alliums, to stretch your flowering season over several months. Consider color schemes. Yellow daffodils paired with purple hyacinths create striking contrast, while soft pink tulips blend beautifully with white narcissus for a pastel look. Don't overlook containers. Bulbs in pots can brighten patios and porches just as much as garden beds. For larger landscapes, scatter naturalizing bulbs like daffodils or crocuses across lawns or under trees, letting them multiply year after year. With thoughtful planning, your bulb garden will be a masterpiece of color and texture each spring. Bonus: naturalizing bulbs. Some bulbs, like daffodils and crocuses, multiply year after year. For naturalizing, scatter bulbs randomly across a lawn or woodland edge and plant where they fall. This creates a more natural, meadow-like effect. Extra tips for success: don't mix early and late bloomers in the same hole. Stagger them for waves of color. Store bulbs in a cool, dry place until planting, never in plastic bags. In warm climates, zones 8 to 9, refrigerate tulips and hyacinths for proper chilling. Protect from squirrels by covering planting beds with mesh until winter. Aftercare and maintenance for bulbs. Planting bulbs is only half the job. Aftercare ensures they return strong each year. In fall, once bulbs are planted, water them thoroughly so roots can establish before winter. If your region experiences dry autumns, continue watering lightly until the ground freezes. In areas with little snow cover, keep mulch in place to insulate the soil and prevent temperature swings from damaging bulbs. Come spring, remove heavy mulch once shoots emerge to avoid smothering tender growth. After blooming, resist the urge to cut back leaves immediately. Bulb foliage needs to stay intact for 6 to 8 weeks to photosynthesize and store energy for the next year. You can braid or gently tie leaves to keep beds tidy, but don't remove them until they naturally yellow and die back. With proper aftercare, your bulbs will thrive and multiply season after season. Mini Tool Spotlight, the Bulb Planter. A bulb planter is a simple tool that digs perfect, uniform holes quickly. It saves your back and ensures consistent depth, especially if you're planting dozens of bulbs at once. If you want a garden bursting with color next spring, the time to act is now. Plant your bulbs this fall, September through November depending on your zone, and let nature do the rest. Come spring, you'll be rewarded with a dazzling display that makes every neighbor stop and stare. So grab your bulbs, dig in, and start your spring show today.